Semifinals today, and I have Parky joining me today. How you doing, Parky?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, Domo?
I'm tired, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty all right. Very excited for today. Best of threes for semifinals, which is going to be huge, huge, huge. Cattery versus Monkey Ballers. Winner goes into the finals versus Brino Machino, which is tomorrow. Um, as you guys can see, there are stats next to me, by the way. And it is very interesting to see that both teams have 58 squares exactly claimed in their matches through the round robin. Anything that you're looking forward to today, by the way, Parky? Anything specific square wise, player wise?
Oh, I don't know, man. I have been watching all of these players practice everything so much. I don't know if there's something in particular I'd like to see. I think one square that I do really like to watch is the double Estelle square because there is just so much you can do with it. Like which one you get first, how long you're waiting on it, what you're gonna do with it, because they're both so kind of weird and annoying and out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the Estelle square is great. I'd like to see that one, but I don't know that the players would.
I like it too, to be honest. I'm a very big fan. It's a very risky play too because both fights do take a hot minute to get to. So definitely, like I think it's one of those squares that takes so long that you can get sniped in the process, and sometimes even like in the Brino Machino, I believe. Yeah, Brino Machino versus Monkey Ballers one.
Monkey ballers.
It goes for so long that you sometimes have to pivot in the middle of it to respond to something else too. So yeah, I agree. I think it's a very, very interesting square for sure. To like kind of look out for. I don't know. I think there's other squares that I haven't seen too much that I would like to see the other players kind of commit to more. I know a lot of people are like, hey, where'd memory stones go? I'm not gonna lie, memory stones somehow vanished. I don't know what happened to memory stones because it was on the list. So I don't know exactly what happened to that one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
but Worm Face, Worm Face is something that I genuinely want to see rushed more. I did a little bit of testing actually on stream, and you can rush Warm Face with a +0. So Warm Face is kind of like the same like weak health pool that like Red Wolf does, right? So even if you don't have a strong weapon, you can still kill Red Wolf really, really early on because it doesn't have that big of a health pool.
Wait,
So if you go
Red
for
Wolf?
yeah, Red Wolf does, and so does Worm
Okay.
Face. So if you go for like the Rot Grease early on and then go straight for Worm Face right afterwards, it's an Altus boss. It's a named boss, so Worm Face square by itself. It's got physic tiers that it drops, by the way, so that works for the physic tier square. There's 2 incantations nearby. There's stones. There's golden seeds. There's Godskin Apostle nearby. There's so many things that kind of like harbor in the center of Altus that you can like really capitalize on if you go for that really early play. And I have yet to see a team really do that. And I'm hoping I see it today, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I will say I was watching some crazy matches where like boss choices matter of if you do, the horse bosses, Liurnia bosses, Limgrave bosses, catacomb bosses, whatever. And something that I've noticed from watching practice from all the teams, everyone goes through this, is trying to decide how much synergy is too much synergy. Like ideally in
Yeah.
a perfect world, there are perfect plays where you can make everything on the board align somehow. But in a game of bingo where everything is so fast and you don't know what the other team is doing and stuff like that, sometimes you can't be so greedy and you have to just give squares up.
Yep.
And it's hard to make those decisions. And I've seen everyone struggle with that. And it is hard, but I'm really, really excited to see how teams have learned from it and how they're going to go about those decisions. And yeah, I'm excited. That'll be really cool to see.
No, I definitely agree. I think that was a talking point, I think like 2 weeks ago or so, where we've seen players trying to go for like the maximum synergy possible on the board, kind of a thing, and then it backfiring because they're just holding on to some scores for just a little too long. Sometimes going for those one-offs just is worth it, even if it's like, hey, I could mix these two, and that would make me, 2 squares ahead, but instead, then all of a sudden it gets sniped in the process, and you're like, okay, well, there goes the whole plan. Now the 1 square I have, yeah, cool, I get 1 square, but the effectiveness of it kind of like falls off because you're kind of relying on the 2 for or the triple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm expecting players to maybe be a bit more cautious too. And yeah, a lot of the practice matches, I would say the decision making from what I've been playing with and also just like listening to has been a lot of back and forth, which I think is still the beauty of the whole 2v2 system is players being like, oh, I should do this play, and the other person be like, well, you could do this instead, and it's like, well, you have a point. And then you get through this whole dialogue while you're trying to like race as fast as you can, just like trying to weigh out the pros and cons of like this specific square at this specific point. And I think that's always really fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, it's a little fun. It's a little stressful. I mean, we're not going to be listening to them talking, but when you do listen to them talk in practice, it's like butting heads is always a little bit difficult. All these players are so good and they all excel in their own ways and they have their own flaws, obviously. And that's kind of the fun part of being a team, but also it's like so stressful when someone says, oh, I think you should do this. And they say, oh, no, I don't think I should do that. And they're like, no, just trust me on it. I think you should do this. And they're like, no, just trust me. I'm going to go do this other thing. And it's just like, oh, man.
Yeah. At some point, you just got to go with your gut.
Right? Yeah. A lot of going with your gut, a lot of trusting your teammates on their decisions. Hindsight is 2020, right? You know, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I hope both of these teams don't struggle with any crazy decisions that, you know, really mess up their games, and I just hope they're all, you know, smooth sailing today.
Yeah. Speaking of, the players should be ready here, hopefully in just a moment. Looks like we don't have anyone in the lobby right now, so I don't know what happened to them. But we'll give them just a little bit longer.
Practice going on.
Oh, I see. Let me go ahead and see if everyone is semi-ready. Okay, CBD is currently not live.
No, CBD's live. He's just fighting.
Oh, is he? Okay, maybe I just have to refresh on my end.
Yeah. The other day when I played a game with Gino and I finished super early because the last square was not for me, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go fight Millennia because that's what all the bingo players do when they're done.
Yeah,
everyone just goes and fights Millennia in the end.
It's like a weird like wind down type of fight for some reason for players. They're like, all right, you know, the day is over, let me just get some practice in real quick.
Yeah.
It's always that fight. It is very weird. I do have to agree.
And it's easy to access, no run backs. I mean, I get it, and it's fun.
Yeah. Let's bring him up here on screen real quick. Yeah, so Kata practicing some Millennia real quick. CBD kind of, I think he's just getting a character ready because they did get the seeds already. All right. I wonder, going into semifinals, if there's any like big prep talk, like, hey, let's just play to our strengths, or you know, is there like, you know what I mean? Like, do teams like have like a bunch of dialogue that they go through of we should just follow our gut feel, kind of like what Zoom said, you know, Team Zoom, where they're like, yeah, you know, in a lot of the matches we would try and do the best because the best option because it is statistically the best, but for us it wasn't the best. And then once we started doing the things that we felt just comfortable doing that maybe weren't the best, we started winning more.
Totally.
And, you know, so I'm like wondering if like that's what other teams kind of go through as well, where they kind of are like, you know what, that might be, you know, a good thing to do, but I don't feel comfortable doing it, or let's just do things that we know we're efficient at and see if that pays off instead. Because that might also be a little bit of a mind game in of itself, because you're expecting the statistically best square out of the enemy team, and if they just don't do that, then you're kind of, you know, playing into their hands, you know. So it's a very interesting strategy, I feel like.
Right. And also, I mean, yeah, in a perfect world, you know, you first try everything, you have insane damage, no one does any bad RNG, but that's just like not how any of this works. So you're totally right that sometimes you have to sacrifice what might look like the best play, and instead just go for what your strengths are, what you guys feel like you can definitely pull off without dying. As I always say, dying is the slowest thing you can do. So just, you know, I agree with you that you should do things that you're comfortable with. And, you know, and I've actually, one thing that I've learned is for collectathon kind of squares, routing is super, super important, actually. I used to think that was kind of the square for like the player who was feeling weaker at the moment or something, whatever. But no, it's actually like there is a lot of knowledge that goes into routing for collectathon squares too, and a lot of speedrun skips, a lot of just knowledge on that sort of stuff. So, you know, I don't know. Every single square here takes some sort of knowledge, some sort of skill. And yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to split things up. I wonder if Aggie and CBD are going to go with their classic. Eggy just kind of sets up some stuff. He does some collectathon stuff, and CBD gets a weapon going, gets some health going, and then goes steamrolls bosses. Maybe they're gonna mix it up. I don't know, but that's been their strat so far in the season, I believe.
Yeah, I think I also realized from a lot of like the collecting squares is also you prep a lot of other things as well, because there's a lot of things that are on the way. You know, when you do golden seeds, there's a lot of other things that are on the way that you can grab as well, and all of a sudden you're kind of collecting for multiple squares, and that could really pay off sometimes too, because then you would have like this small progress to these other areas that are not really huge time sinks because they're on the way to golden seeds anyways. And I think a lot of players have been benefiting from that by being like, okay, you go for that, learn everything that's on that route, and just do everything you can to, you know, progress the map or progress, you know, upgrade material, but don't go for it right away, obviously, but just at the very least, you know, grab things on the way. And it seems to really, really pay off. I've had a couple players voice as well that actually the setup squares are the most powerful squares this season, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like whenever we see a +9 Somber or some sort of pickup smithing stone bell bearing, some squares like that, I feel like players just kind of laser eye towards those squares because, yeah, you get those. They're a little bit of a time sink sometimes, even if there's no synergy for other things. A lot of the times they're worth going for because, man, with perfect skill, perfect RNG, if someone and someone else go into a fight at the exact same time, damage will always win. So,
yeah,
man, those things really do help.
Yeah, it's always such a weird gamble of like, do I go and upgrade now, or do I just like kind of deal with it and try and get through the boss fight instead? And a lot of the times it's like, you're definitely gambling, because it's not just gambling of the fact, oh, you know, the enemy player could also be in this fight, but it's also gambling with bad RNG on the boss. You know, do you get like a bunch of stall attacks where they just do stupid stuff so you can't even punish them correctly? But if you had more damage, you didn't have to deal with that specific phase, you know? So it's those types of things as well that make it very interesting, that make squares last longer than they should.
Totally.
Yeah, so I'm very interested to see how their approach is now, and if there's any new tech as well that came out during these last couple of days of practice before these semifinals/finals. Looks like all the players are almost ready here. Aggie just currently checking his character as well, and then we should be good to go. Looks like Glance, by the way, his mic isn't working, so I'll be moving over to the players and getting them set up real quick. Once they're all in, actually. But let me see here. Okay. I'm gonna go over to the lobby and I'll be right back. Okay. Bye. Hello. No one else is here. Why is nobody else besides CBD in the lobby? I don't understand. Just get in the lobby, please. Just peeing. Okay. For God's sakes. Okay, I'm going to go back and... Okay, it looks like... Oh, sorry, hold on. What's up, CBD?
Hi. What's up?
I don't know. I thought more people would, once the room is ready, I thought people were going to pop in, but everyone's just like waiting, I guess. So
I'm here now.
Hi here.
Hi.
Glance's mic isn't working, so I'll be filling in to get you guys ready and everything.
Okay.
He could have used like a laptop mic, dude. Would have been fine.
Dude, I don't know, man. Just something I was told, so I'm trying to get things going, you know.
Slacking on the job.
How you guys feeling?
Feeling all right. I just had a banana in true monkey baller spirit.
Very nice, dude. Is that your usual breakfast? Is a banana?
No, usually before game day, I have a little Tim Hortons wrap. Not
and it's
today.
usually incorrect.
Yeah, yeah, that too.
Very nice. What about you, CBD?
I'm feeling good.
Okay, nice.
Feeling great.
Cool. All right, so you guys got the bayonet armor with the, is it Cestus or is that just spike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the blue
And
something shield.
The candle tree wooden shield.
Candle tree wooden. Alrighty. All right, Catalyst is back, so hopefully we'll have them hop in here soon, and then I'll move you guys into your respective voice channels. Any hints to player strats for the commentators?
Go fast.
Eat ass.
Thank you, CBD. Okay. I wasn't brave enough to finish the sentence.
Alrighty. Still, oh, for God's sakes, what are they doing? They're just sitting there. Getting the fuck up. There we go.
Yo, hello.
All right, hello. You guys ready? Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
Hey.
Good luck. Board's ready. Everyone's got their same characters. Good luck.
Go on.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck.
Okay,
Good luck.
I almost moved myself. Oops. All right, there we go. Jesus freaking Louises, let's go. Let's go.
Oh my God, what
I'm sorry.
happened?
Oh my God.
I was so lonely.
I'm sorry. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know why they wait. They just sit there and wait. It's just going into the lobby for some reason. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
God,
Anyways,
who hired these guys?
it's these new recruits. All right. Starting the match. Here we go. 10 seconds before the board is
Okay.
displayed. Let's go ahead and hover over the match board here. Oh, do you have access to the board, by the way, Parky? Are you on the board?
Oh no, I'm not on the board.
Okay. Do you need the room?
Yeah, I do need the room, but whatever. We can do it next time. I can look at the screen here.
Okay. Gotcha. Center square, 50K Grace, Omen Killer, Halley Tree Medallion. Got some nice squares on here. So 50K Grace is definitely gonna get rushed. That's a center square.
Oh my God, that square, especially with that Lord rune, that they just insta get now. That is such a fast square.
Yeah.
Disgusting. That'll be a rush.
I'm definitely expecting that to be a rush. The two tunnels or precipices might be a rush as well. What else do we have here? Millicent is definitely going to be a rush. Omen Killer. Smithing Stone Bell Bearings 1 and 2 could be a pretty early square. Scar Seal's Talismans. That's pretty early on as well if you want to rush for it. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Definitely some interesting choices. I'm expecting CBD to rush Millicent, to be honest. And the 50K Memory of Grace possibly coming out from Aggie here. The really interesting thing is if both teams go for the 50K Memory of Grace at the same time, someone's going to lose out on 50K
Yep.
without getting the square. And that's going to be horrendous if that does
I wonder
happen.
if one of them are just going to retire that square, because that does suck. It is a big waste of time and money. So maybe one of the teams will just retire that square. I will say I expect Aggie to look at that Smithing Stone Bell Bearing square. He's been really liking that one.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see that. Also, I know the Halley Tree Medallion second half isn't super fast, but we do have Omen Killer, which kind of goes with that square. I wonder how much they'll be prioritizing lines here. Oh, we do have tunnels as well, and tunnels goes with those bell bearings here and there as well.
Yeah.
We do have 30 Arcane, which I think 30 Arcane is sometimes better than the other squares if they do have a bleed weapon, but otherwise, those squares where you just dump stats are not fun.
I agree. If you find an arcane weapon, this could be actually really, really sick, to be honest, too. And looking at all the classes here, it looks like both Aggie and Potpourri are going to go for the Iron Balls class, which makes sense. One of the best, starting weapons to start out with here. And CBD possibly going with the Confessor here, maybe because of the arcane stat, it being 12. I'm not too sure. That might be definitely an option, trying to waste as little money as possible on 30 arcane. I'm kind of expecting them to both teams to not really push a line early on, but just try to get all the early stuff as quick as they can. Yeah.
Yeah, we've learned that sometimes the obvious square lines are just not going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see if they just start making one, and then if they end up being able to go for it at all.
Yeah.
All right, and here we go.
Here we go. Going in. Everyone loading into the match now. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm kind of expecting... let me look at the board one more time here.
We do have Everjails, which goes with Scar Seals. We have both of those on the board there. Do we have Dragonkin at all?
We do, actually, row 5.
We do have Dragonkin. Okay, so Scar Seal is looking relatively rushable as well. To go, I mean, with synergy, of course, with Dragonkin there.
Yeah.
And, again, we have those tunnels. We have those bell bearings. Right. Okay, so here's a play that I saw the other day. Rykard's Great Rune and Smithing Stone Bell Bearing. So there was a play that I saw from Aggie where he got the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing. He beat the Onyx Lord. He did have Altus bosses, which I don't think is on the board here, but he beat that guy. He got the Grace right after, and then he beat Rykard for God bosses and for some other reasons. And he actually had that Grace sitting there ready for Rykard's Great Rune. So that is like one of those plays where it's like a very secretive instant Rykard's Great Rune, and the other team might be like, what the hell? How did he do that? So I wonder if we're going to see something like that here as well.
Yeah, possibly. I wouldn't be surprised anyways. The Scar Seals definitely, I think, might be one of the better plays, although the Smithing Stone Bell Bearings are on a really good corner square. So I think that's going to be priority, and then maybe somebody... honestly, not going to lie. Row 2... kind of easy, and you could bulldoze that very quickly. So if one of the teams actually wanted to build up that thread of Smithing Stone Bell Bearings and Scar Seals, and then just lean into the Black Knife Assassin Cheese and some Knights Calves and Everjails, it's a very easy line to block too. But at the very least, it'll create a lot of pressure for them to do something, to maybe pivot to a different line if they really wanted to, and have the enemy team respond.
Yeah. We do have horse bosses, so Night Cav and horse bosses would be really good. So like if they tried to this is the nice thing about stuff like this. If someone does try and contest, a square like Night Calves, and then they get sniped on that square, you do have squares like 5 horse bosses. So I mean, there's things you can do with the progress that you've made, so it's not a complete waste of time. So we got some nice synergy on this board actually. Maybe not in direct lines, but definitely squares that work into other squares. Do we have God bosses? We do have God bosses, and we have Gold Free, and we have Rykard. Okay.
There's a lot going on. Yeah.
There is a lot going on here. Wow. We do have Imbued Sword Key. We also have Renala, which work nicely together. We do have the Shackles, and we also have Morga, which I mean, you're going into Landel anyway, sometimes maybe. We'll see. This board, there's a lot going on. I'm really curious to see what synergies they choose. And we do have a lot of starting classes here that are different. One thing I've noticed about some teams is a lot of teams will see a weapon that they like, and both teams will go for that starting class. But some teams specifically like to have each teammate choose different classes so that they can, use those different classes to advantages. Which is what seems like these teams have done, which is cool.
This is crazy. Everyone's doing something completely different, by the way. I was expecting a lot of snipes early on, but we have Catalyst going for the 50k Mirror of Grace. We've got Pup going for the Smithing Stone Bell Bearings. We've got Aggie going for Omen Killer, and then CBD going for Millicent. So everyone's going for a different, separate early square, which I think is absolutely fascinating, and really wondering how that's going to play out here.
I do like this for them because I get so stressed out when someone's getting sniped. I mean, it's a good game, but I like sometimes when they're doing their own things and they can just focus, and it gets that momentum going for them, and then really cool late game stuff after that.
Yeah.
So at least they have a nice, simple, non-snipeable early game here.
CBD trying to get the Millicent exploded here. Oh, it looks like actually Aggie is going for Smithing Stone Bell Bearings, but just taking a little bit of a longer way, going from the EG Bridge rather than from Ruined Labyrinth. And there we go, 50k Memory of Grace coming out from Kata.
Nice,
and then
fast.
The Millicent here from CBD, 1-1 already on the board.
Wow. Oh my gosh, these players are so damn fast. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was very quick.
But yeah, I was gonna say I'm a little bit surprised if Aggie was gonna go for Omen Killer. He really does like those bell bearing squares, so this makes sense for him. It's interesting that he would choose this one to start. I don't know what made him do that. I don't know which one is better or worse. But hey.
I mean, Puppery is in the same exact tunnel. She's just a little bit ahead because she started the Ruined Labyrinth, which is closer to this tunnel. So this might just be a bit of a pathing mistake here on Aggie's end here. But we'll see how the rest of the tunnels go. The thing is, like, what's going to be interesting is you don't have to do the second tunnel necessarily to do the two tunnels in Precipice. You can go ahead and teleport to Weeping, for example, and go for the Weeping tunnel, which is a way faster access point than the other one, just to get tunnels off of the board for your team. You might not win Smithing Stone Bell Bearings in that regard, but you will take tunnels away instead, so they don't get the double up.
Yeah, I'm curious what they're prioritizing here. CBD looks like he's going for that Dragonkin, potentially Scar Seal talisman play. So curious to see how that goes for him. That is a nice one. Again, it goes into Everjails. So I like when there's a lot of Weeping synergy when there's Everjails and, you know, the tiers and stuff like that. We don't have tiers on the board here, so it's not as worth to get into Weeping. But still, I mean, you know, Everjails and Scar Seal is not bad.
Oh, CBD sadly sliding out behind that the back leg of the Dragonkin and gets swiped immediately and gets one shot. Kata here, by the way, now on the Omen Killer.
Yeah, and Aggie did mess up that skip the first time. It looks like he might have got it here the second time. Nice work.
Okay. Is he... Okay, he's kind of catching up here a little bit. I don't think Pup did the skip here. So he might just be behind by about 10 seconds, 15 seconds maybe. Deadly Poison here on the Omen Killer now for Kata. Nice punishes too.
That's a nice fight.
Very nice. No dogs are attacking. No old guys on the bridge shooting magic at you.
Yep.
It's a good position to be in right now for sure. Nice backstab here. This should definitely be a kill for Kata now. There it is. Omen Killer boss is now on the board for Cattery. That's huge.
Right, and Pup's got that shield broken of this Crystallian, so that fight will probably go pretty quickly for her now. Yeah, wow. And Aggie does not know that he is behind, and he won't know until... You know, I mean, you know, the square's not over yet.
Until it's gone, yeah.
If she does happen to get that square, he will see then. And hopefully, I mean, stuff like this, I wonder if maybe someone might go for a square like this thinking, okay, even if I do get sniped, I did get the bell bearings, which gives me upgrades. And you know what? It's not the worst thing to get sniped on.
Yeah, no, very true. You can get your balls up to plus 12, which is, you know, huge for most of the game.
Yeah, okay, we got Kata and Weeping here. He might be going for that Scar Seal Everjail situation.
Yeah, definitely an option here. CBD currently still on the Dragonkin fight, getting a pretty rough attack to deal with, which is the running Dragonkin attack that takes a lot of time. Is definitely off by quite a few bleed procs. Sadly, the Scavenger Sword doesn't do a lot of damage, so this is a bit of a risky play, I would say. There is a bleed proc, though, for him now.
Nice, okay.
So one more bleed proc should hopefully do it for him. And then he can get the Scar Seal and go straight to Weeping. That might give it away, though, to Kata as well. That, you know, CBD's going to be working on that, and he will just either races it or he just goes and just finishes Everjails. Not too sure.
Yeah, I'm curious what he's gonna do. His weapon is better, but he has no reason to assume that CBD is using a different weapon, right? So maybe he'll pivot off it. We'll see. He might also just go straight into Shifra, not fight Dragonkin, and just pick up that talisman, right? Because it's just behind him. You can grab it without fighting.
Right.
So that's not a bad play either.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. CBD here only, you know, a couple hits away, though, to get this square now. Could make his way towards Ancient Hero of Zamro before Kata could respond going to Shifra. So this might be just a call depending on either player, you know, if they see that. Kata seeing that now on the board, seeing that Dragonkin is marked by CBD is like, okay, Do you still go for it? Looks like he's sticking to the fight because it does feed into Everjail's.
Yeah.
Which is that diagonal, by the way. And it also plays into the fact that, okay, here's Smithing Stone Bell Bearings now from Puppery.
And Aggie, he sees that. Okay, is he going to still pursue this tunnel at all?
Interesting play from Puppery. She does not finish the tunnel, by the way. So she does not get 2 tunnels. So...
Yeah. It looks like Aggie's going to do it, though. I think.
No, he's leaving, actually.
Oh, he's leaving?
He's leaving now, yeah.
Okay.
So, and Puppery now going for the old Altus tunnel here. That might be her second tunnel.
Classic Aggie getting sniped.
Here's a really dangerous thing is now Cattery having both activated both diagonals, and on that one diagonal is the Restore Records Great Rune. You know, which you brought up before, which is the whole doing the second Smithing Stone Bell Bearing tunnel action. So I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna play out, but I'm expecting a block here soon from Team Monkey Ballers at some point. I'm gonna go ahead and swap over to their team POV real quick here.
Thank you for the alerts. I love when you announce it. I think it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. If some people are like, why does he keep saying it? You should just have like a transition or something like what would they call it? Like a stinger transition.
Okay.
But I didn't have the time to do that. So
I think it's good. Everyone, avert your eyes for a moment.
yeah, watch your eyes.
He's still grabbing that. I knew that he would, because that is just a really great thing to have for the upgrades. And it looks like he's actually gonna continue the tunnel. I think he might be doing that play that I mentioned, which is that Rykard setup for potentially for later, because he will have a big advantage on that. If he gets set up here a little bit.
Oh, a little bit of feels lag man there. Aggie having to quit out. Just to make sure that he doesn't fall down the chute. And yeah, here's still the Scar Seals now from... this is interesting. So CBD is not even going for Scar Seals anymore.
So is there any reason for CBD to know that Kata is ahead on that? Not really, right? I wonder why he would have pivoted.
Mostly because if you take that long on the Dragonkin fight and Scar Seals is really rushable, you just kind of assume. It's like, I've spent so much time on this boss.
Yeah.
They're probably going to go for it at this point as well, and I'm behind.
Honestly, that's a great call. That's very smart.
There it is. Tunnels now being marked by Puppery, and Scar Seals being marked by Kata. This is currently 5-2. Definitely very strong start here from Cattery now on the board.
All right, we have CBD. Looks like he is going up to the imbued sword keys potentially, right? I don't know what else could be up here.
Yeah.
And so it looks like he's gonna try and block off that diagonal. Honestly, not a bad call, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Imbued sword keys does take a while, but it's definitely not a bad idea because it does block column 1, it blocks the diagonal, and it promotes the row 5 on top of that. You still have that more God for God bosses after the imbued sword keys. This could be a nice little threat that they could push onto the enemy team, saying like, hey, we're blocking your things, but also, hey, we got something going for ourselves.
Yeah. So yeah, Aggie looks like he's finishing this tunnel, I think for no other reason other than to set up for Rykard's Great Rune in the future.
Yep.
Interesting play. That's a very looking into the future play, and sometimes we might not even get to Rykard's Great Rune. But I mean, he will be ready in case it does get to that point.
And this does also give him money to upgrade the balls to at least, I think, plus 14, because he did grab some smithing 5s in this tunnel as well. So that's going to help him a lot to, kind of front load his damage for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Okay, we had Kata and Ordina. He didn't go for the Black Knife Assassin cheese. I've never actually seen that cheese, but I know it exists. And it looks like he did not do it, but he did go there to pick up some frost and stuff like that. So I'm curious what he's getting here next.
Yeah, I believe the Black Knife Assassin cheese is not super consistent. It's pretty consistent, but it does have its downfalls sometimes. So I'm just assuming that Kata is just going to go for the money and the frost grease just so he can bulldoze earlier targets first, and then maybe go back for that. Because right now, Black Knife Assassin isn't really priority, I think, for Team Cattery.
Yeah, that's fair. We have CBD here getting into Raya Lucaria. Yeah, he's going to be going for that Renala and Imbued Sword Key, I assume. I mean, I guess he doesn't have to do the Renala square until it's necessary, but
right.
The Imbued Sword Key, of course, is good here.
And it looks like Kata is going to the tops area right now, going for that Merchant Grace here potentially as well. Going to be grabbing maybe some stones? No, just grabbing the Grace. Okay, interesting.
We do have Kill Remembrance sorcery only here.
I just saw the return tops key on column 5. That's why he's grabbing that Grace.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if CBD is going to consider that, actually. That kind of works with all the things he's going to be heading over to as well. Not a bad call. Okay, it looks like Kata might be doing the Black Knife Assassin cheese. He's back here. I'd like to see it, honestly. I've not seen it done. At least not successfully before. And Aggie's also here, though. Is he also going to be attempting the cheese? Ooh, he is. Ooh, spicy.
This will be very interesting to see. Yeah, who pulls it off faster and who gets the better RNG, pretty much.
I have not seen this, so I guess we're about to see this twice. Cool. And you're saying it's not super consistent?
Yeah, because sometimes apparently they can like land on your head, or they can tag you on the way down and one-shot you.
Oh yeah, actually, I have seen that, and you just hope that they die before you do, right?
Kind of, yeah, pretty much. And sometimes it's just really hard to tell if they're chasing you or not, as well.
Meanwhile, we got Pup with 1 Nightcap down, 1 Horse Boss down for her. Oh yeah, there it is for Kata there.
Yeah, you kind of see like the footsteps and everything. There it is. Kata rolling to make sure that he avoided it. There's 1. Gets that glove wart. Going to go for a second here. CBD fighting Red Wolf, by the way. Not a lot of damage. He really, I think at some point, both teams need to start looking for, a better weapon. At least Kata and CBD. Pup and Aggie having the Smithing Stone bell bearings and the balls. I think they're set for the rest of the match, pretty much.
Yeah. On the bright side, no one is contesting this, so one thing about bingo is that there's a lot of mental involved. Like if you're getting sniped on things, it just sucks. Oh no, Aggie. Yeah. At least he's not losing too much time because Kata did just grab that, so kind of works out for him there. But good for Kata. Dude, Kata is out for blood today. I'm not gonna lie. He is super speed today.
Yeah, I think that's like what happens, especially in bingo, is once you get a lead going, you start to just like build that match confidence, is what I would like to call it. Where you start to feel good about what you're doing, and it's really hard to like lose that once you have a nice square advantage. Right now, being at 4 square advantage for Cattery, you just get in this groove of like, okay, let's keep making these calls, and I don't know, like it's interesting because I know a lot of people are like, oh, once you get a bingo, especially in this format, it's over anyways. It's like, no, not really. You really got to get your head out of the hole for a second here and just really make sure you're making the right calls with your teammate.
So here's a little stressful for them because we have row 2 going here, and there's left on row 2 4 Evergils and 3 Nightcabs. They don't know that they're behind on Nightcabs, but Pup is 1 away. She's about to grab that. Yeah. And they do know that Kata is ahead on Everjails because he's got that Scar Seal. And I mean, right, that's an Everjail. And so it looks like Aggie and CBD, are they even going to contest that row? I don't really think so. They're just going to probably give that to them and just, I don't know, maybe try and go for some other quick squares to make up for that. I'm not sure. That's a little bit of a scary position to be in, where you kind of know that you're behind and there's not much you can do with that.
CBD getting absolutely blocked, by the way, from getting up this ladder for the other imbued sword key. These marionettes are not letting him get past, and he doesn't have a strong weapon. He has no healing anymore now, and he has to deal with this archer marionette that's just blasting him as soon as he touches, that ladder. Okay, there he gets the nice little stagger into the riposte. That should hopefully be enough for him to get over there.
These guys do suck.
He's got to be careful. There's more little guys at the top, and also that mage that starts blasting you. If he gets really bad RNG here, the mage will do the Swift Pebble spell instead of doing Shard Spiral. The best move... Oh, that's perfect. So he gets Shard Spiral here, so he can just run past and be fine. If it was the Pebble one, like that one at the very end there, he was shooting the pebbles. Yeah. Like, those are really, really hard to dodge. He could have easily died there. So good on him for getting past that.
Yeah. But yeah, sometimes you get squares that just like the snowball effect is just too crazy. It's hard to come back. And you know, I'm curious to see what their plan is, because yeah, you gotta have a plan, right? You can't just give up on it. So
Yeah.
we do have CBD obviously committing to that diagonal. What is Eggy doing here? You suggest?
He's currently in Altus.
Yeah.
Let's see, where exactly is he in Altus? I'm gonna use my good old eyeballs here. Oh, he's going for Magnus, it looks like.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be, column 1, row 4, kind of a block going on. I think they're just giving up Everjails. I think they already realize that they're just too far behind for Everjails.
Which is smart. I mean, honestly, like, they're in a tough position, but I think at some point you have to realize, okay, we just can't get that.
Yeah.
Because Kata's gonna do it. He's already ahead. So I think they're gonna just go for some quick things that they can get off the map while Kata and Pup are finishing up their line there.
Yep.
Crazy bingo on their part though, Kata and Pup. That's a very quick bingo.
A lot of threats. Yeah, a lot of threats just were
Yeah.
uncontested pretty much.
Yeah.
CBD getting his last imbued sword key, so he's definitely gonna be blocking at least that diagonal in column 1 and kind of promoting that row 5 just a little bit for his team. Aggie going for Magnus here to be getting the row 4 column 1 blocks. Catalyst going for his 3rd Everjail now. I wonder how much time he's put on the Everjails, because it does take a while. CBD dying here with 30,000. That's a lot of money. Hopefully he gets that back. But it is claiming that square though, so.
Everjails aren't too long, I think, especially if you're picking some of these nice and easy ones. I mean, I guess like some of them you have to ride to, like Zamor.
Yeah, travel time. Yeah.
But they're not so bad. There's a lot worse on the board.
Yeah, it's most of the travel time getting there and everything,
Yep.
3rd Everjail here for Kata now, going straight for Godefroy, I believe.
Oh no, Aggie died to Magnus there. Damn. You know what? I think he's underrated how hard he is. I have always struggled on him, and I'm like, maybe I'm just bad. I don't know. But you have these awesome players who also die to him sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
why don't we talk about Magnus more?
Because people have PTSD. You don't want to remind them.
True. You know what? Fair. That is so fair.
The thing with Magnus is like he doesn't have like a lot of poise necessarily, but he does react to a lot of your attacks very, very quickly, and he just hits like a truck. And the thing is, like, the Bestial Claw here, that's not too bad to deal with. The Lion's Claw right there is the problem that people panic at and then roll too early. The other part is he's got this other like tag, which is the Bestial Sling, which is like these rocks they just throws at you, which are really, really fast. He just keeps poking you with that, and they're just so fast it's hard to react to, you know? So
Yeah.
he just has a lot of tools in his pocket.
And you know what else? Dying to him takes forever. Oh my god. You gotta wait to die, and you gotta wait for the message, and oh my god. It's a horrible one. I think what Monkey Ballers need to hope for here is just to get some squares and hope that they're gonna be sniping the other team. We don't really see that happening, but they don't know that, so that's kind of like what you can hope to do when you're so behind like that.
Yeah, those rocks again. Good old pocket sand here from Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
Being extra annoying. There it is, pocket sand yet again. Aggie just trying to get some tags.
Yeah, we do have Kata doing one God Boss here in the Everjail and Altus, which is a pretty smart call. It's not too out of the way, and it's a pretty easy boss.
And it's an Everjail, yeah. So he's kind of like working for 2 different squares here, which is really nice. It looks like Pup is working towards Physic Tears, by the way, grabbing her 6th Physic Tier now from that Weeping Erdtree avatar. So they're kind of promoting that diagonal now, too. So there's a lot going on here for Team Cattery right now. They definitely have control over the board. They're just pushing their advantages and really challenging, the decisions of Monkey Ballers.
Yeah, and this Godefroy decision on Kata's part, it's like he doesn't have incredible damage, and this is kind of what we were talking about. Sometimes you have to pick and choose if the synergy that you want is worth it. But for him, because they're so ahead, they can afford to lose that square. He decided, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go for the synergy here, and stick with the God Boss and the Everjail, which I think is a really smart call for him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. Once they get this square, they'll be at 10 points,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll just need to get 3 more squares after that.
Yeah.
And with them building more threats, they could easily just go for another line like that diagonal.
And Pup is super ahead on horse bosses. And so, what Monkey Ballers needs to do is go for squares and just hope that they're either going to snipe Team Cattery or that they're just going to get a bunch of squares really quickly and that's it, right? But they have no idea. Like, Pup is not... Well, Pup did Knight's Cow, actually, so they probably can assume that she's ahead on horse bosses and she's probably going to finish that square, which is nice. At least they have that knowledge. But I'm curious to see what they choose to do. Aggie is going for, I don't know, the Lord's Rune pickup here, maybe?
Yep.
Just for some arcane, maybe? I don't know what he's going to do with that.
I'm not too sure either. We'll find out soon. I mean, you can use money for so many different things in this game now at this point.
Right.
So I'm not too sure exactly, but I don't know. I don't want to call it early.
Don't call it early then, Doma.
But I'm just saying.
No, it's not over till it's over.
It's definitely not over till it's over. Don't get me wrong. But just looking at the advantages that we have, right? From a player's perspective, it still looks very winnable, right? From our perspective, there's a lot happening here where they're not making the same calls. That is the problem, right? At this point, Monkey Paws has to make the same calls as Cattery to come back because they have to snipe and gain squares. They can't just gain squares now. It's not going to help them in any way, you know?
Right.
That's the big thing here. Now they have to make sniping calls, and now it's going to be hard because there's so many options.
Yeah, it's such a hard, like, when you just have to make blind guesses, it's brutal. It's so brutal. And that being said, after a team does that, and let's say they lose, whatever the team is, they might think back at the match and think, oh my god, we should have done this other thing. But like, you really just don't know, and it's super hard position to be in.
Yep. And there it is, 11 points now for Cattery, 11-6 as they get the physic tiers. Puppery now going, I believe, for her last horse bosses, which would make a lot of sense. That would be then 12 for them if they do finish that out. And it looks like that Catalyst is going ahead and just going to finish God bosses, which also makes a lot of sense. And that also works towards, capital access for Gold Free and Morgott. So there was definitely some stuff that kind of sucks other than snipes. Like when Aggie finished that tunnel, other than just for no reason other than to finish Rykard's Great Rune potentially in the future. That's kind of what I was talking about, where this is going to be really, really awesome if the game ends up going to that point because you're going to be super ahead. But also, I mean, it's a little bit scary to spend time on that right now when there's other things. Right.
Like you need to be doing some catching up. I don't quite remember what the score was at that point. Maybe it wasn't super behind yet, but those are kind of some tough calls you have to make, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. And yeah, that's definitely a thing of like, hey, I'm going to grab this for later, which is possibly 40 minutes from now. Is that currently worth my time? And I think, honestly, in Aggie's case, it wasn't. In Puppery's case, it was because she already got the square, right? And Aggie's case was like, I'm already behind. This is going to be putting me even farther behind just for a late game advantage. And that just, really seemed to, be a bit of a miscall in that regard.
Yeah, it does seem like Aggie was set up for being behind due to that one kind of routing difference that happened between him and Pup. That's not something I was super aware of, but it seemed like it really mattered.
Yeah. No, I definitely. Well, I think it mattered in the fact that, like, and I kind of talked about this last week too, where if you get sniped on a square, don't go for the next best square right afterwards, because more, the really high chances pretty much is that they're going for that one as well right after they completed that square. So if you get Smithing Stone Bell Bearings and you're like, okay, well the next fastest thing now is tunnels, they're probably working on that too. That's their next goal as well. So maybe if you feel like you can win that race, go for it, but maybe don't, and actually try and go for something else instead. That way you don't get sniped back to back and start losing more and more and more time.
Yeah. Again, though, it is a tough call to make if you're not watching it from our perspective.
Right.
Right.
Of course.
There's a lot of players who don't continue off the next best square and just sit on it and just play chicken all game, and you just don't know.
Right.
Um. So I do feel for all the players in that sense. Everyone's constantly doing mental gymnastics.
And I think that's the beauty of like the practice matches though too, is you kind of like start to figure out like how people think and how people play, and that's why people ask, some people, Jesus, my brain there, sorry. I like hot circuit.
People ask.
Some people ask, yeah. Some people ask at the end of the like matches or the practice matches all these different questions like, oh, what weapon did you use? Where'd you go? Why'd you do this? It's not just because they're curious, I just want conversation. Right. It's because that's going to go into their mental wallet of like, okay, this is what they did last time. They're going to probably do it this time too. This is like their pattern. So I'm going to not do that, or I'm going to try and counter that with this, which is always really fun to see.
Yep. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, as we saw here though, I mean, it's just so crazy how the momentum or like the anti-momentum works in these games. Like, no pressure on Team Cattery. They're just vibing, And when there's no pressure on a boss or something like that, you don't die as easy, obviously, and it's just smooth sailing. Versus when you're like, catch up, scary, oh my god, stress.
Right.
And there's that lightning ram square. Okay. Unfortunately for Team Monkey Ballers, Cattery was not doing that, but.
Yeah, I love this.
You never know. You just have to hope.
Yeah, and that's definitely part of the gamble. I think Lightning Ram Ash of War definitely wasn't the worst choice, because it is a pretty rushable square now. For what the game offers now with all the unlocked graces, and it looks like CBD is going to be going for upgrades. By the way, 5th horse boss here for Pup. Yeah. Which would be 7 to 12 then. Last square for Kata, I'm not too sure. He's currently in Altus here.
Yeah, I don't know where he's headed. Maybe the Godskin Apostle is the fastest way to him.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Yeah, and I think that'll take him to three God. No.
Yeah.
Is it 3?
Yes.
I know he has marked 2, but I thought he already had a 3rd one. I wonder if he's gonna finish that off with a good old Soldier of Godric.
Probably, as it is probably one of the fastest ones. Looks like that CBD might be going for the same thing, as he's kind of going that same direction anyways. Or he might be going for Old Altus Tunnel here, actually, for the rest of the upgrades. He does have Health and Steeple now, so he's probably trying to get that online, but I think it's just a little too late to go into prep now when you have, these different squares kind of staring you in the face. Pup here about to have her 5th horse boss, so it's gonna they just need one more square after this, and it's looking close to a GG's here.
Yeah, this square, just with there was so much synergy here that it worked so well for Team Cattery. They could just snowball up all their strats. They were just barely ahead on so many things, and unfortunately really hard to catch up on that for Team Monkey Ballers, but we'll see we'll see how the next game goes. I don't know, but there wasn't many not many crazy end game things here. Really interesting board.
Yeah, I mean there were like a couple, but there weren't like any major ones. Yeah, I definitely agree. There were 3 that really needed capital access, the Shackles, the Goldfree, and Morgott. And honestly, like if Monkey Balls were able to like play into that, to where it's like, hey, you guys need capital access now, they might have been able to buy a little bit more time, but just too much pressure at once, I feel like, from all these different squares that Cattery was claiming.
Right. And again, it's so hard to know what the other team is gonna do, if they're gonna go for some more synergy squares, or if they're gonna go for like the random squares. Oh, Kata does die to the Apostle.
A little bit of extra time here for Team Monkey Ballers.
Time. Yeah, if he dies, maybe 20 more times, maybe Team Monkey Ballers can catch up.
Yeah. Aggie here currently in Volcano Manor now, going for what it seems to be Godskin Noble into Rykard maybe as 2 god bosses. Which definitely isn't a bad idea. It's just a little too late.
Yeah.
of a play.
Yeah.
And it looks like that CBD is going to be going for possibly, I don't know, he's moving backwards, actually. Good. Checking sorceries, maybe? Oh, yeah, I think he's checking sorceries here in Raya Lucaria. Trying to see if he can do sorcery only Godric. Shattering Crystal isn't too bad of a spell, but I do think it has a really high requirement. No, is it? No, sorry, it's the Torrent spell, not the Crystal Torrent, not the Shattering. The Shattering, I think, is not too bad.
Yeah, we do see Aggie. Yeah, well, it looks like Aggie is probably doing Noble here for the Godskin, the God Square, and then I guess access into Rykert after, if it came to that.
Right.
Not a bad call. I mean, it was a good plan what Monkey Ballers was thinking. It just, yeah, you get some unfortunate snipes. And it really just does change everything.
I'm going to go ahead and move over to Team Cattery here real quick for you guys. Going to be bringing them up here as they're about to finish their last square for this match that is currently uncontested. So yeah, this is looking definitely like a GG's for match 1. That is for the best of 3 semifinals. Yeah, that
I do.
Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if the winning, or I mean, it's not over, I guess, but if Team Cattery does win, I wonder if that is going to like bring them into higher spirits for game 2, and likewise the opposite for Monkey Ballers. I hope that they don't get too discouraged. A new game is a new game.
Yeah. No, definitely.
And we'll see. Sometimes boards have 0 synergy actually, and boards like that suck for everyone. Those are crazy, and you just have no idea what people are ever gonna do. And I think I'd like to see a board like that just to see how people plan things out.
Yeah.
But man, it'd be brutal as a player.
I honestly think that maybe for Monkey Ballers anyways, at least for me, whenever I played, I needed one game just to like warm up first. You know what I mean? And this might be one of those things where, this is the game where they just need to warm up. They don't maybe make the right choices, or they just maybe a little bit off in the beginning, and then the next match they kind of bring it back and are way more in a better headspace to be like, okay, game 2, got this, no problem. Let's recollect ourselves.
You know what? Monkey Ballers has been saying that they just need one game to warm up. So we'll see.
And there it is. GG's to Team Cattery.
Nice work, Team Cattery. That was a very, very fast and well-played game for them.
Yeah. There's a lot that was happening on that board for sure. But definitely GG's to them.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them a quick time just to, decompress a little bit. I don't know if we're going to do post-interviews between every match. I think we'll just do it at the very end.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just do it to where they give them like 5 minutes or whatever to figure their stuff out, and if they have to go to the bathroom and stuff like that, and we'll move into the next one. Give me just a moment here. I'll just let them know about that.
Bye.
Well, no, I'm not. No, I'm not leaving. I'm just.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just typing it out real quick to them in the Discord.
Okay.
And we can move into game 2 then. All right, I'm going to give them 5 minutes. We're going to move over to the main screen here real quick.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I forgot your camera's gone. I'm sorry. Hold on. Not you. No, your camera's there. No, no. You're fine. You're fine. It's all good.
Oh, there we go.
It's all good. Yeah, so, man, I'm not going to lie. That was a very, how would you call it? Very steamrolly, to be honest.
Totally. One of the most, I would say, I mean, okay, I don't know if steamrolly is an appropriate word. More so like snowbally. You get one thing going, oh, this works into this. Oh, cool, this works into this. Oh, cool, this works into this. And when you're doing that, and when someone else is also working on that, and you're just barely ahead, man, does that suck for the team who's behind.
Yeah,
the snowball, and all these teams, I've heard them talk about it. Like if that happens to you, you kind of start to feel a little hopeless, because it's so hard to catch up, and then I don't know, then you're like, well, what the hell do I do now?
Yeah, I think especially from a team perspective, where it's like as soon as the enemy team gets a bunch of squares, you start to just make these desperation calls. It's like, they might do this. Let me just do that real quick.
Yeah.
They might do that. Let me just do this real quick. And then it just becomes like a very volatile mentality, I guess is probably the best way of putting it, where you just make very rash decisions because you just really want something on the board to make sure that pressure goes away. Definitely a performance that I was not expecting out of match 1, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a little, I don't know. The way the board was reading, I didn't expect, I guess, how it fell into place, if that makes sense. Because we, from the early analysis that we had with a bunch of the early game squares, we were expecting, each team to maybe get 3 squares. But looking back right now from all the squares that I marked, Cattery actually got 5 out of the 6 early game squares, which is, that is a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that was fast. Like, I don't know. I think their strat was really good. Kata was doing all those like really, really quick ones, and man, he was fast, dude. He was fast, and Pup was setting up for that tunnel and the smithing stone bell bearing and all that, and it was really good. And so what I think happened is Team Cattery saw that row 2. They were like, damn, that looks good. Let's kind of work on that. Whatever. Cat is gonna go for Memory of Grace just in case row 2 is like not whatever. Blah blah blah.
Right.
And the players do this all the time. They set up for a line without expecting that it's gonna go like that for them, and it ended up working out for them. They were like, oh yeah, okay, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And it was awesome for them. Unfortunately, CBD's weapon choice against that Dragonkin might have affected that. What did he go for that because of the arcane? Is that what we thought?
The Dragon
that
King?
class? No. Sorry.
Oh,
Did
the
he go for that
class?
class, yeah. Because the weapon was like not great compared to the balls in the other classes.
I'm not too sure because the Scavenger Sword does have bleed on it, so I think he just thought that would kind of offset the low damage.
Yeah.
But I think dying, I believe at least once, definitely didn't really help out too much, which is, that's always devastating when that does happen. We're gonna go into a quick 5-minute break here, guys. Give ourselves, a little bit of a breather as well. We're gonna move into match 2 in just a moment here. Sit tight. We'll be right back. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so we have the Golem Great Axe. No, Golem's Halberd.
How do you see it early? Oh, you're talking about the classes?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, not square, yeah.
Okay,
not the sleeping golem square. Nah, just the classes we're looking at right now.
Okay.
Interesting. So this is the Black Knife armor. Everyone's hovering currently over the Vagabond, which is nice. Stat line isn't actually too bad either. All right, let me make sure that everyone's set. Looks like they all are. I'm gonna go ahead and move up real quick to the players.
Okay.
I'll be back. Give me just a moment here. Yo, hello. Sorry, guys. I'm maneuvering you around.
Okay.
How's it going?
It's great.
Yep. Okay. Not gonna linger too long. Match 2 starting here in just a bit. And it looks like everyone does have the Golem's Halberd.
Yes.
Dagger, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. And no issues on anyone's end. Everyone's good to go.
No, I think we're good.
All good.
Yeah, despite
Seems
Cattery
good.
cheating, I mean, it's all
What
good.
the hell?
Classic.
Pop speed
That's
has
what
for
happens when
Valkyrie,
Malenia is not on the board, dude.
5% move speed increase. Don't think I don't know, Pup.
Talk to my lawyer.
All right. Well, I'm gonna move you guys into your voice channels. We'll start in just a moment here. All right.
All right.
All right, good
Awesome.
luck, guys.
Bye.
Good luck.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck. All right, Parky, I'm back.
Oh my god, it was so scary.
It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right, they're all ready, so let's go ahead and start the match.
Yay!
Second
I'm
match
so excited.
of the day. I'm going to go ahead and actually sneak peek at this board real quick.
I am in the bingo board now.
Oh, you're in the board
I
now,
did
too?
that on our break. Yes.
All righty, here we go. Starting the match for the players. 10-second countdown. Let's go ahead and check out the board here.
Okay.
Center square Elimer.
Okay. That's not too slow. It's not too fast either. I don't know that it'll be super rushed.
7 Altus bosses though is on the same column.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Yeah, this is interesting. 6 bosses in Caelid, 7 bosses in Altus. 2 tunnels yet again is on the board. 2 cemetery shades. Crucible of Night, Misbegotten Duo. 3 friendly NPCs. Yeah, there's a lot more killing on this one.
Yes. Okay.
A lot more killing.
We do have Remembrance Boss Hitless. We don't have Remembrance Boss with a certain weapon, though, I believe. Right? No, we don't.
No, we do not. We do have 4 different remembrances, though, as well. So that definitely is going to take priority, I feel like, at some point.
Yes. That's big. That's big killing. We also have Rykard's Great Rune again. Remembrance Boss Hitless. We do have Cemetery Shades. That's like a relatively quick one. We do have the Grave and Ghost Glovewort Bell Bearings. 2 of them, and honestly, those 2 might be my least favorite squares. I hate those squares so much, and I feel bad that they're on this damn board.
Yeah. Well, the first one's not too bad. The second one, the Grave and Ghost Glovewort 2, that one sucks.
That one sucks. Yeah, I hate that square. That one, it's like what? In like the mountaintops, a catacomb, and then freaking Noxtella. What the hell, bro? That square sucks. And it doesn't really go with much unless you have like the moon, right? Which is not on here.
Right. I do think, honestly, like, this seems to be a bit more of a Monkey Ballers board, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
The last board was definitely more Cattery focused. This one's definitely a bit more Monkey Baller because of the killing, the prepping, it being a lot more late game stuff. I could see this really being more home field advantage in that regard for Monkey Ballers on this board.
Okay, I will say we do have a Margit with 6+ parries. There is a class that has a shield on it. I don't know if this one parries. I assume it does, right? Which Kata keeps hovering, so he looks like he's gonna go for that. Aggie looks like he's set on not doing that. I guess like it looks like either Aggie or CBD aren't set on a class with a shield, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can get a really quick shield in the Ruined Labyrinth Grace in Liurnia. So that might just be a thing where they're like, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and gamble with that. We're not going to necessarily go for a small shield right away, go for the 6 market parries. Or maybe they just give that square up because it is in the corner square. It doesn't really promote a lot of things. I'm not too sure, but here we are, match
I think
starting.
they'll be giving that one up. I think they know that's a fast one, and if they're not starting with the class, I think they'll be giving it up.
Yeah.
We do have duelist bosses, which is pretty quick. We do have Tunnel. Tunnel doesn't really work with much. Well, Tunnel works with Rykard's Great Rune and Altus bosses, I guess, if we really want to synergize something. And duelist bosses work with Caelid bosses. Cemetery Shade works with Caelid bosses. We got a lot of horse bosses that could work in Caelid bosses. We got Crucible Knight and Misbegotten Duo, which works with Caelid bosses. It's another board where there's a lot of like kind of long-term synergy here. We do have Lanciax and Borealis, 2 squares that a lot of people don't really like, and I know that.
Not very fun bosses at the very least.
Yeah.
I did miss did somebody start with cracked pots at all? I did miss that, as we do have that on row 4 here. I didn't pay attention to their keepsakes.
I don't think either Kata or Pup have it.
Alrighty.
Aggie started with Crackpot.
Okay, so that might be something they might be eyeballing then. Remembrance Boss Hitless is definitely going to be kind of taken possibly by the player that goes for 6 market parries, or here's the interesting play is that some people have been just avoiding the market 6 parries and just going straight for just market off the rip without the parries and getting past that boss and then going straight for the Godric Hitless. Just not to waste time on either getting a parry or wasting time on, trying to make sure that they actually are able to do the parries. But it looks like Aggie going for the 3 friendly NPCs, by the way, launching Vare into the sky here. Very good fight.
Brave, quick fight. Wow. Nice work, Aggie. Nice. That's pretty early. That's good. And And so, yeah, it looks like no one else started to go for that. So that's very nice for him. I honestly can't really predict what people are gonna do. This is kind of a weird board a little bit. I wonder if anyone is gonna do Millennia, because we do have 4 different remembrances and we do have RL60, and if you kill Millennia, you immediately get RL60. It's a little scary, but if you have a confident build, you could try it. I have seen a lot of players do Millennia when a lot of more casual players, including myself, would probably avoid her. So they have the skill for it. I'm curious. Maybe they'll do it.
Potentially. I think especially at some point, if it becomes like a choke point on the board, they would just be like a high risk play of being like, you know what, let me just go do Millennia, get this square out of the way. Or just more of a pressure point too. He's like, okay, we already have column 3 working for us. Let's go ahead and just get the rune level 60 on top of that. Make sure that they can't snag this away from us. So
Yep.
definitely interesting to see. Everyone currently talking to Melina here. Aggie gets sitting down now and joining everybody else. Didn't lose that much time actually, Aggie here, for killing Vare. He's not that far behind.
I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah, he's like pretty close. We got Kata on his way to Margit. CBD is in Altus. I'm not sure what he's gonna prioritize here.
Looks like he's rushing Old Altus Tunnel right away for the Sombers 4, 5, and 6, and also a tunnel completion because that's bottom left. So I think he's trying to push that as fast as he can.
Okay, cool. We got Pup also working on tunnels though.
Yep.
Okay. Classic. Pup is doing kind of similar to what you did last game with that immediate tunnel square.
Aggie going ahead and killing Bach, by the way. No more sewing for that little old man.
That is so sad. Who is his 3rd NPC boss gonna be, or friendly NPC? I mean,
probably either Bernal or Alexander, one of those two.
Yeah.
Here we have Kata, by the way, going straight for the Margit parries off the rip here as well.
I think Aggie's going Alexander. Honestly, Bernal, he's not like super hard, but I think if you're trying to be safe, and if he's already like, there's some stuff around Alexander that you can work with, I think that might be a better call.
I'm going to go ahead and move over to Team Cattery here real quick, as they are doing currently 2 fights here, as Aggie's going to be fighting Alexander. The Margit already having 3 parries right now. There it is, 4 parries for Kata. Scaling Misbegotten getting shanked in its own tunnel.
You know, as you were saying earlier, that some people might just skip the 6 parry square and just attack Margit. Like, yeah, potentially, but also I've seen a lot of players decide that oftentimes, depending on your weapon, parrying is actually faster a lot of the times. So, I mean, depending on what you're working with, it's honestly not a bad square, and it's pretty quick usually.
Yeah, quick little pod friend, by the way. Parky got a little pod friend.
Cameras.
No, we got cameras. There is cameras.
Wait, what?
I switched.
No, you can't just do this, pod friend.
What do you mean? I just did. Anyways, pod friend. So 6 parries currently done for Catalyst, by the way. And Aggie now moving straight to, I believe, Margit parries. Just checking that Margit shield or the parry shield that I was talking about in Ruined Labyrinth. Smoldering shield is not good. That's got shield bash on it. Does not have a parry on it, sadly. So that's kind of really losing that option. But Kata going to be marking that here in just a moment anyways. So didn't waste too much time going for that.
Yeah, I think that, again, I think if you're going to do the parry square like that when there is a starting class with the shield, I think that you're ready to give it up. Like, you're like, maybe I'll check just in case no one does it. Because there's been boards where no one's done it. But I think at least Aggie saw that and he was like, you know what, that's fine.
Yeah. And tunnels here, by the way. I believe this is Pup's 2nd tunnel now.
Is this CBD 2nd one as well?
I believe so, yeah. And he is I don't know which tunnel he's in. I think he's in the other Stone Digger Troll one. Yep, he is. So he's going to be doing the drop down here. But it looks like Pup is actually first. I do believe Pup might actually be winning the tunnel fight here. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that is a very, very fast fight.
That is definitely 2 tunnels there for Team Cattery now.
Okay, CBD sees that. Is he gonna go off of it. I wonder, is there a reason to finish this? Yeah, it looks like he's going to.
Nope. No reason really to finish it. You could just memory of grace.
He's quitting it. Okay, true.
Yeah, that was very quick from Pup for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, did we have? Wait, what is Aggie doing? Is he doing? Oh, is that Raya's hand? I was like, we didn't have Bogart on there.
Yeah,
we?
he's definitely doing Raya's hand here for sure.
Okay. Fair, true.
This isn't the worst though for CBD, as Pup went for the. Although actually no, never mind. Yeah, I don't know. That was just faster on Pup's side for doing the. She did the Morn Tunnel instead of the Stone Digger one, which apparently is faster to access. Also a quicker fight. Going for Catacombs now, I believe. Or Duelists. Okay, so we're looking at column 1 here.
And Kata looks like he's gonna do some Godric hitless, also column 1. That being said, Rykard is not very fast. Rykard's Great Runes especially is not very fast. There's a lot that they need to do to get ready for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like Kata will be contesting that hitless square. That's a nice square to do.
Looks like he's going for some quick upgrades first. Make sure that fight goes a little bit faster. Otherwise, yeah, like I said before earlier on, you don't want to necessarily gamble with RNG on bosses, especially if you're trying to do hitless.
Yeah.
So going for those smithing 2s and 3s and Shifra is definitely not a bad idea.
Yeah, we got CBD going to EG, I assume, just to level up his weapon.
Yeah. Raya's hand here for Aggie now. Going to be marking that in just a second here.
Nice.
Touching hands. This is PG-13.
When you have a long...
Sorry, go ahead.
When you have a long square like this that takes so long to kind of end, it's so stressful because, man, so many times I've seen where people are practicing or even in a real match where they are about to press the square and it gets clicked by someone else and you're like, oh my god, dude.
I think it actually happened the other day when I was Chris and Ada versus me and Tom, I believe. And Adaf and I were both doing a remembrance boss, but because of Godric's dialogue that he has to wait out, I did Renala instead, and so I killed her, or I marked the square before he did because the dialogue was shorter.
Yeah, insane.
So yeah, sometimes sitting on a square where you have to just like wait for something to happen is nerve-wracking for sure.
Very scary. Okay, we got what is everyone working on here?
Right now it looks like the Pup's just looking for money possibly to upgrade a weapon. CBD is still rocking the Knight's Sword, so I don't think he's found a Somber weapon yet either, even though he's got the Somber Stones.
We got the Dark Moon Great Sword Aggie just picked up. Yeah, everyone's kind of just hanging out right now.
I believe for Pup here, she's grabbing the money, by the way, for Stone Sword keys for the Duelist in Caelid.
Yeah, okay, true.
Checking the store here real quick. Rivers of Blood, Royal Greatsword, and the Scepter, 3 Somber weapons. Actually, 4, the Magma Blade, the Magma Whip, but Magma Whip not being too great. If it was the Magma Blade, I would say that is definitely something you want to consider, personally. But sadly, not super great weapon options.
We do have CBD fighting Margit. I think for no other reason other than to acquire 4 different remembrances. Right? Is there anything else that might be useful in here? Not really.
Besides hitless, no. Unless there's incantations, so you can technically go for the Godskin Prayer Book, which is in Stormvale Castle. So I mean, there's that too.
True. I think he's not gonna bank on the hitless square because, you know, he knows that Cat is ahead on that. I guess though, sometimes players see, okay, well they haven't immediately gotten it, so maybe I have a chance. But I mean, me and you see that Cat is in there right now. So maybe CBD will just unlock the Grace in case they need to get to the 4 remembrance square. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. But yeah, I think it's for the 4 remembrances. I think you're right. Just like progress in general.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that they don't fall too far behind on something like that, which I think is a really good idea. Yeah, there we have Pup, by the way, going for the duelist cave now. I think it's the jail cave. No, it's not the jail cave. Is it jail cave?
It is the jail cave.
Let's go. Aggie here, I am currently not too sure. Possibly going for... I want to see sorceries, if I'm being honest. Or even cracked pots. He started with cracked pots. You might as well just go to Jarberg and finish that real quick. Would be my thought on that, to be honest. But sorceries would be really good here because you'd get rid of row 2 and the diagonal, and it would promote your column 4. Get CBD to go ahead and upgrade. Have him do Remembrances and Borealis, and you go for Incantations. Like that column 4 is actually really good because it kind of promotes the whole someone collects, someone kills type of team synergy in that regard. It looks like Kata did get the hitless Godric, by the way, just waiting out the dialogue now.
Nice work, Kata. Very clean fight. I'm curious to see what CBD's gonna do here after he sees that Kata gets that. I mean, I guess, yeah. There's no reason to assume that it was anything but Godric, right? So.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
Is he going to go grab that Grace just to have it and maybe come back for Remembrances? Yeah, again, we don't have any kill with sorcery only, any of that stuff, so no reason to keep that open. Yeah, I don't really know. There's a lot of routes they could take here.
Pup struggling a little bit here with the jail cave skip to get to that lever.
Yeah.
Trying to get it's a very particular jump here. You get stuck on the wall and then you can go ahead and jump over to the lever. There it is.
Nice.
All she has to make sure she has enough momentum. There we go. Nice jump onto the lever. And
that's
now she can go
This
for the
cave
duelist fight.
sucks.
Yeah, this cave is really, really long.
Yeah, it's long, and man, if you get lost, you get lost.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like some of those other catacombs later on in the game as well, where there's fake doors and elevators that have two sides and God knows what else.
We do have Aggie. Looks like he's going for Elmer here, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Is this the direction, Elmer?
Yes. Yeah, which is definitely not a bad play.
Yeah, I
agree. The only
agree.
concern is the column 1 still. This is pretty much the same thing as game 1 here, where they see a bingo line and they aren't immediately reacting to it at all. They're just kind of like letting it sit and letting it marinate. Well, I understand. It's like it's Reichardt's great run. It does take a while, but I don't know. At some point you gotta react,
right?
You know.
But also, like, sometimes a bingo line isn't the end all be all, right? If Aggie and CBD can get more squares in the time that it's gonna take for Kata and Pup to do Reichardt's Great Rune, then they're not too worried. There's also the only thing that Reichardt's Great Rune really works with is 4 different remembrances, right? It's not like the most appealing square ever for this board.
Right.
I guess it'll help you into RL60, so maybe people will be contesting it. It's just not a super priority right now for anyone, I think.
Yeah. I'm just hoping to see a response at some point is the key thing here. It would be really good for them. Their duelist not being marked by Pup, by the way, as well. So that column 1 really showing. If Aggie gets Elmer here and CBD goes for Remembrances, they could try and push that row 3 and have that Reichardt's Great Rune as a choke point too.
Yep.
But I'm not too sure. Looks like that Kata was working on cracked pots, by the way. It does have 3 cracked pots now from Jarberg. Going now to Volcano Manor. Are there cracked pots in Volcano Manor? Or is he doing something else here? I think he's just getting ready for Reichardt's Great Rune. I think he's just not... Oh, Aggie getting tagged here by that Clean Rot Knight. I think he's just...
No.
I think Kata's going straight for that Reichardt's Great Rune restoration, just to not bluff it at all.
Yeah. And, he's going to work on that. And also, the thing about Reichardt's Great Rune on this specific board is there's nothing else that tells you that he did that. There's no, kill Godskin Noble. There's none of that. Nothing that shows that he's working on it other than he hasn't marked something in a while. What, is he working on that, I
mean, they have the Take Rise Hand of Volcano Manor, so I think that is kind of like a, hey, we're in Volcano Manor, as like a kind of like a little hint, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure either. I'm really not too sure. This might also be a thing where Kata just goes for the Rykard kill but doesn't actually complete it, kind of thing. So I'm not too sure.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. This, like, Kata, it's a little scary for Kata to do this because he's calling their bluff successfully. Like, he's right, but he could be wrong, right? They could be working on this because Aggie hasn't marked anything in a while. So Aggie could very well be working on this and Kata doesn't know. So it's a very risky play.
Yeah.
Again, you know, it seems like it's going to work out for them, but if you don't see what the other team is doing, you can't. I feel like it's hard to assume that they're not working on Rykard.
Looks like Pup is doing a quick little weapon check here for her team. Seeing the Rotten Battle Hammer, which honestly, for me, one of my favorite smithing weapons, as it just has innate rot on it, and it has great poise damage on it as well. Really, really good weapon. I'm going to go ahead and move over to Monkey Ballers here real quick, as we do have an Elemer fight on Aggie's screen. The bleed proc already putting in a lot of work. You can jump attack that grab, by the way, for anyone that has a hard time with Elemer. When he does that red hand thing, you can just jump it and jump R2.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't grab you in the air, so.
Wow, that move sucks. That might be one of his worst moves, if not the worst.
It's got weird tracking, yeah. Should be able to get the square, though, here very soon for Monkey Ballers, which is really, really nice. Getting that center square definitely will be huge.
And then Kat is gonna have a little bit of a sigh of relief knowing that Aggie was not actually working on Rykard's Great Rune.
Which means, honestly, I'm expecting Kata to then go for the Godskin Noble fight, and then not go for Rykard, knowing that Aggie did not actually go for Rykard himself.
Maybe, and just have that ready for if he does have to go for it.
Exactly. Kind of sitting on it a little bit. There it is, the Elemer kill.
Nice fight.
Shifra now for Pup, by the way, going to be upgrading possibly the Knight's Greatsword, as she's still carrying that on her body, hands. I don't
on her, okay.
inventory. I don't know.
Carrying it on her person.
On her person, yeah. I whatever the term for that is. What is the thing on like that people have on their like the? It's not a like, you know, like how like in the medieval times they had like a belt where they just put their sword in. It's not like a sheath, because some of them just didn't have a sheath. They just put into the leather belt. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a weirdo today.
Oh, come on. That's not fair. Okay? I was just trying to find the right word and I was stumbling. That's what happens when you talk a lot.
Yeah. All right, we got CBD and Altis. Is he going Lanciax, or is this Ash of War Sheep?
Yeah.
This...
I could see that.
Yeah.
For the row 3, Ash of War would make the most sense, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got CBD working on the Sheep Ash of War. We
do have Kata. See, he did pivot it out of the Rykard's Great Rune, by the way. Going for, seems to be smithing 5s, maybe. But Aggie now actually invoked Kano Manor now? Yeah.
Yeah, he is going Rykard's Great Rune.
Okay, so they kind of switched places.
Yeah, that's a good call for Aggie, honestly. I don't know if that they can afford to give them that bingo line again.
Yeah.
Pop looks like she's going for Cemetery Shades here. Just a nice, quick, easy square. Don't blame her. So, what I would assume is that Pup is going to go for these quick squares just to get them finished. Kata, I feel like if I were Kata, I would go back to Rykard's Great Rune and just commit to that line. I personally don't really like playing super risky. Even though, yeah, like, these players obviously know a little better and understand the pacing a little better and all that. But man, playing risky like that is definitely scary.
That might be that like first win mentality, you know, where they just play a little bit riskier too, you know.
He actually is going back, I think, right?
Yeah, he might have just been going for upgrades and then going back into
Yeah.
into the fight.
Okay.
Which is definitely an advantage because I don't think Aggie's hook claws are upgraded.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, not very highly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. The good thing here for Aggie, to be honest, though, is the fact that he might have a slower Godskin Noble fight. But on Rykard, it doesn't matter because both have to use the Serpent Hunter, which is going to be +0 for both. So, Oh,
Yeah.
Kata just dying
Oh
instantly,
no.
by the way.
Okay.
Rot proc here ready for Aggie on the Noble. And a bleed proc already. So he's currently ahead now, actually, on this Noble fight. Another bleed proc here for
Wow.
Aggie yet again, going
You know
into phase
what?
2.
The bleeds against Noble are so nice.
Yeah, he's getting some nice RNG here too.
Yeah. Yeah, really nice. No roll. That's really lucky. Wow.
He's got to be really, really careful here. There is the Ash of War for CBD now. Grabbing that for the team for row 3. Oh, Aggie gets rolled! Didn't get behind the pillar soon enough.
Oh god. It's a Noble sit-in today.
That is not good. That is not good.
Is he gonna pivot? Wow.
I think he's
interesting.
gonna. I think he wants to get more rot
Oh.
grease. Was the plan.
Maybe.
Now he has to go all the way around again with no rot grease. Honestly, maybe going for a Consecrated Snowfield here for some frost grease might be a bit of a better idea. I'm not too sure. Kata here missing a parry on Noble. It's got to be careful getting tagged here by some attacks as well. Gets tagged again.
You know what? Noble
Gets
is one of those
tagged
bosses you can
again!
try and heal on. It's brutal. Like Crucible Knight also.
Kata having one more heal left on his flask has got to be careful with these parries to make sure that he doesn't keep getting tagged. Slapping his face,
Wow.
knowing that he's maybe not in the game at the moment.
Dude, it's like crazy. It's like dude, it's like they know that each other are going for it. Like that's how intense this is getting right now. I'm like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, it's
Alright, nice stagger for him there.
okay, this is interesting. Rykard's gonna be very, very interesting based on RNG.
Yeah, huge.
Okay, here is the roly-poly fight. Or not fight, move, I should
Yeah,
say.
he was able to get behind the pillar there.
Getting some nice charged R2s off while he's rolling. Gets a stagger.
Wow.
Doesn't get the riposte, though, sadly. Nice roll, though, from Kata. There it is. Very nice R1 finish.
That was a very fast reaction to that belly move. That one is a tough one.
Let's see if Aggie can catch up here with his Noble.
Yeah, I think he might be able to if he gets it this try. Depending on Rykard RNG, obviously.
Yep, and there is no square really like showcasing that they're going
Yeah.
for Noble either, which is the crazy part. Nice little bleed proc here though for Aggie on the Noble. CBD going for a bunch of upgrades, by the way. Cemetery Shades here from Pup now. Going for a second Cemetery Shade. She's going for all the free squares. Everybody else is working on the threats, which is really nice.
Yeah, great play.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is great. You can just do a bunch of things and the other team doesn't even notice and you're like, what the hell?
Yep.
All right. Phase transition from Godskin Noble. A little early. I'd be pissed off, but that's fine.
Another bleed proc here though for
Nice.
Aggie. Looking really good now on this fight. Just to make sure he gets like at least 2 more bleed procs should do it.
You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, it's possible Eggy was getting that shield for the Rykard fight, not for the market fight.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Because their strats heavily rely on having a shield. At least the fastest strats.
A little bit of ring around the rosy for those pillars. Nice roll here
Roll.
from Aggie. CBD going to be using the Watchdog staff, going for the Halleck Tree Medallion, it seems like.
Nice.
No, going for Borealis, actually. Okay. Rykard going to be on the screen here for Kata in just a moment. Nice bleed proc here for Aggie. Going to have the Noble down in just a second. Looks like that Pup is going to be going for the Bloodhound Knight summoning Blythe Square. Aggie's got to be careful. Gets tagged from the roll.
That was a nasty, like, fake almost around the pillar, but not quite enough. Yeah.
Just needs a couple more hits here. Just got to play slow. Got to play slow. There it is. Nice RNG here for Aggie. There it is. Noble dead. Moves into Riker. I'm gonna move to the 4-player screen here real quick for all the viewers. Avert your eyes.
Yeah, that's a nasty move that Kata got, but lucky he can face tank that. Well, it's not lucky. He knew that he could, of course, but that one sucks. That one sucks if you can't tank it. Yeah, I am curious why CBD is going Borealis here.
I think to activate another line, just in case Aggie does lose
maybe.
Rykard.
Yeah. If Aggie does lose Rykard, though, I wonder what they're going to go on to instead.
Aggie pivoting off Rykard? Or just going for the smithing 4s, maybe, for upgrades?
Maybe he's giving it up. Maybe they've decided this is not worth it if I lose the square. That's way too much time lost.
Could be. Goes for the smithing 4s.
All right, Cat is heading into phase 2 here. It looks like the fight's going pretty well for him.
Let me go ahead and bring him up on the big screen. Again, avert your eyes, chat. We're moving over to Catalyst here real quick. Boom, there we go. We're on screen, by the way, Parky. They can see us. As a heads up. Just want to let
Thanks
you
so
know.
much for letting me know.
Yeah, no worries. Borgas fight for CBD as well now. That
It's
looks
a bit
like
of a weird choice, though, because, like, he doesn't have much health, and you could die really quickly, and I don't know. It's a bit of a scary play.
the Borealis play. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. But CBD has been practicing Borealis too, so if he gets some nice staggers, it wouldn't be too bad. It looks like Aggie's going for Radon here for Gloveworts.
Yeah, he might be just retiring that Rykard square because he might have assumed that dying to Noble was just too much.
There we go. This is going to be a record kill here in just a moment for Kata.
Yeah. And if Aggie did switch off of that because he didn't think that he was gonna make it, because I mean he did die once, but that second fight he did was a little bit slow just because of RNG and stuff. So I don't blame him for that call.
Looks like that CBD did die to Borealis, by the way. Going back into the fight, I'll go ahead and move over to CBD here real quick as Kata does get that Rykard kill now. Yeah, I wonder if there. Here's a interesting play that I kind of like is if they just go for column 4, give them the Rykard's Great Rune, and just go for column 4. Basically, bingo line for bingo line kind of scenario. You know,
I agree. I agree. You have to know when to give up something, and I think they're doing a good job at it.
So I definitely think that that's going to be the play, for sure, or from the looks of it, anyways.
Yeah. And yeah, Pup's not really working on blocking column 4 either. It looks like a line that no one's really expecting yet.
Okay. That was a really close roll here from CBD. Nice fight here on the Borealis. So that strike damage really putting in some work here on that Borealis.
Yeah, let's not caster curse him though, right, Domo?
What? Okay, it's part of my job, you know. He's
What the hell kind
fine.
of crop is this, by the way? No, it's like I don't even see my head.
Because everyone's got different cameras, man. I don't know. Hold on. Let me just. I fixed it.
Let me just slouch. I got it.
I fixed it. You can sit up again.
All right. I will not be commenting on this match by CBD here.
Oh, there it is, though.
Beautiful.
Borealis on the board now.
You know what? I am so glad that he did that because that is the nice, safe way to finish him off. And hell yeah, good work on that one, CBD.
Nice patience.
Great.
Yeah,
great patience, great fight. One death, not that bad. Also, I wonder if they're alerted to that column now because you know what? Like, it's not that quick of a column. There's not really much. I mean, okay, to be fair, Cat is a little bit ahead on 4 remembrances, yes, but there's not like something super quick that Team Cattery can do to block that. And it does look like Kata is gonna do Rykard's Great Rune immediately.
Yeah, I think it's because like they're hovering the 4 different remembrances, which probably tells Kata, okay, they're going for remembrances, which also means that they probably went for Rykard. So I gotta make sure I get this as soon as possible, which I think is a really, really good thing for Monkey Brawlers, to be honest, is showing that, because otherwise Kata would sit on this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're forcing him to do the long square. And kind of like pretty much taking him out of commission as long as they can. They do get a bingo line out of this, but for Monkey Ballers, it gives them enough time to work on their own stuff too, while Pup is going for some free squares.
Right. It is like, yeah, the 4 Remembrance isn't looking super fast for him, but you know. I wonder if Aggie, so just feel free to help my memory here. Is Radon is helpful for those Graven Glovewort bell bearing squares, right?
Yes. The
So-
ones, not the 2s, but yeah.
The ones. So I wonder if Aggie is gonna go just do that and like bluff their column as well, because you know what, their column is a little bit slow. Maybe they are just bluffing it and they're gonna go work on those other things. Is there anything else that those bell bearings might help? Well, it's a horse boss
Not
and
really.
a Caled boss that Radon is, and on the way to RL60. I mean, it's not the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It looked like that actually Aggie did check his status there real quick. I'm assuming is for the levels to see if he has enough levels to get to level 60 at some point. Oh!
Oh no, dude.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, that sucks. That was a really close kill.
I mean, you know, that's the pressure of semifinals, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You just kind of, I don't know, get nervous, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, sure. And
I
also
would.
they're trying to catch up and do some new plans here, so yeah, there's always pressure.
Yeah, I mean, 100%.
Oh yeah, that's a very scary death. And did he have some sort of grease on Radon that he doesn't have anymore? Or...
No, he didn't
No,
use
he
any
didn't.
grease at all.
Okay.
Aggie's just trying to make sure that he doesn't lose his 50,000 that he's been holding on to this whole time. Yeah, there is the bleed proc. And Kata now currently in the elevator ready for the Reichard's Great Rune. So they're about to have a bingo here in about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Going to be in the lead 9-5.
Yeah. And 9, I mean, it is a high amount of points, but it's not like it's game over, you know, like last time it kind of felt like that line was gonna push them a little farther, so it's not completely hopeless, and that's why I think Monkey Ballers didn't super prioritize blocking that. They do have time to do some catching up.
CBD working on Lanciacs now. Like I said, going for those kill squares, which I believe is the right move. There it is. Bingo line now for Cattery now. 9-5.
Yeah, okay, we got CBD on Lanciacs. We got... So Eggy did start with Cracked Paws, but it doesn't look like he's continuing that at all. Maybe he just wanted to have it and didn't need the Lance Between Rune or anything. Oh my god, CBD, no!
Yeah, this is rough. This is rough for sure. All Cattery has to do now is just grab all of these side squares as much as they want. Going for Crucible Misbegotten Duo maybe. Going for Caled bosses. Misbegotten Crusaders, a nice one-off. You know, horse bosses. It honestly doesn't really matter. The board is, open for them.
Yeah, she is going for Radon, though. I guess there's horse bosses, but it's not like she's got a lot of progress. I mean, this is kind of the same thing as last game where they have a little bit of space to do what they want to do. There is 6 bosses in Caleb. There is horse bosses. Radon does lead into some of those bell bearings. Like they can do what, you know, just what they think would work, and they have some time to do some risky synergy plays.
Yeah. Not too sure what the next move is going to be here now from Monkey Ballers. How are they going to react to a 4-point deficit? Looks like that Catalyst is going to be going for the 14 different incantations. Remembrances would be insane. 14 different ones. I think this is a good move, too. Looks like they might be pushing that row 4 a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, Team Cattery?
Yeah, because he's got cracked pots. He's working towards incantations now. He has more Altus bosses. So having those 3 squares priority is really good for Kata here.
Yeah, but it's not like they need another line, right?
No, they definitely don't. They definitely don't. But there's nothing wrong with, creating more threats
Yeah, I guess so.
in that regard either.
Okay, we got Aggie. Looks like he's gonna do that Crucible Misbegotten Duo.
Yep.
Not a bad call. I wonder if Pup is gonna contest that after beating Radon, potentially.
Not too sure. But her damage is definitely lower, I would say, than Aggie's, just because there isn't any bleed procking happening. There is 14 incants already here from Catalyst.
Oh no, CBD dying to Lanciax again. A tough one. Yeah, got the incants. Yeah.
This is what I was hoping, though, from Monkey Ballers, is that they would go for sorcerers and incants, and instead now they didn't. I'm not sure why, to be honest, because those squares are very easy to grab. Aggie does have a lot of money. He had 50,000 before going into the Radon fight. He could have definitely grabbed those for his team to make sure that those lions were more active.
I'm curious about the Lanciax call. Like, it's not like there was Dragon Hearts on the board or something like that. We do have Altus bosses, but, I mean, Lanciax for Altus boss is a bit of an interesting play.
Vitality isn't real. Aggie currently at no HP.
Yeah. The 1 HP is kind of scary against these guys. They got a lot of really quick moves that they can do against you.
All right, that is Radon dead now for Pup. Possibly going to be going into the duo fight as well. If this is a snipe, it's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, Aggie could snipe it from Pup as well.
Oh, I definitely agree. I'm just saying if that sadly does not happen, then it's bad news bears.
Bad news bears.
Bad news Billy Bears.
Yeah, so what's happening here is that, I mean, Aggie won't know if he snipes her, but when you're behind like this, what you need to happen is for the winning team to go, or not the winning team, but the team currently in the lead to go for all the squares that you're contesting so that you snipe them on all of them. So if he does get this from Pup, that'll be really good for them.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I feel like everything that these teams have learned over Season 3 there is not being utilized by Monkey Ballers, though. Besides maybe by CBD, which is, upgrading a weapon and getting things online. I feel like that hasn't been a priority at all in these last 2 matches. Like, they just... I don't know how to... CBD dying to Lansax again here.
I don't know. I don't know if that's really the right thing to say here. I feel like what I think happened is that in the first game, they got sniped. They had some good plans. They got sniped on some unfortunate things, and it just snowballed. I don't think it was a lack of preparation or lack of skill. I think it was just sniping into an unfortunate board.
No, what I meant was like preparation for weapons, damage output.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I do think though that it's possible that first game kind of that mental from that first game kind of went into the second game. Not super, they had a great start, but obviously it sucks a little bit.
Yeah. This Lansax square definitely being a bit of a time sink for CBD now. Currently, Aggie almost done with the Crucible duo, though, as Pup is currently in that fight as well. Going to be fighting the Crucible as well. Her health bar definitely a good chunk larger and has decent healing, actually, too. Okay, she's got a Sacred Tier +1. So it definitely helps out a little bit. Looks like that Catalyst is going to be focusing on Altus bosses from now, which I think is a really good idea. Nice snipe here from Aggie, grabbing the Crucible Misbegotten duo. So it makes Pup Memory of Grace out.
Yeah, that was a really nice play from Aggie. That was a very clean Crucible Knight fight. Curious what they're gonna work on next here. CBD is still fighting Lanciax, right? I
Yeah.
really wonder what the reasoning was behind the Lanciax, because I'm not super experienced with Lanciax. I'm not really sure what she can offer other than just one fight. The square doesn't super look like it's in a really good spot either. Maybe they thought it would be the fastest option for them and what they might have the most priority on.
Well, it leans into Altus bosses, so I think there's that. So I think you wanted to try and pile up on the whole Altus boss square by doing Lanciax on top of that. And maybe like a little bit towards rune level 60 as well. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But it is definitely costing them a lot of time, which is a shame. Looks like that Aggie's going to be focusing on Kaled bosses now, as he's currently in the Falling Star Beast Cave.
Yeah. And he's not super behind on that one, so it doesn't look like Kata or Pup are working on that. So if he does just commit to a bunch of fast Caleb bosses, that could look good for them. I'd love to comment on CBD's fight, but I'm not gonna curse him, so.
Yeah, Callus currently working on the Tibia Mariner here in Altus. This will be his 4th Altus boss, or 5th actually, since he just killed Gillica. He is holding cracked pots right now. He has 9 cracked pots.
Yeah.
I wonder if Caled bosses is, I don't know.
Well, like, Misbegotten Crusader, I don't really know why, but none of the players like Misbegotten Crusader. I've asked them about it. A lot of them just say it just sucks as a fight. It's a little bit weird. Like, I don't really think I hate that fight as much as they do, but maybe it's just the fact that you're low level and he can do some weird things. Okay, fair. But I know that not a lot of them like Crusader. I guess 12 Sorceries isn't super fast. The Bell Bearings aren't super fast. I'm curious why they didn't prioritize crackpots if Aggie already started with crackpots, but as for the fast squares, none of them are like super immediate fast anymore, right?
Yeah. I mean, Misbegotten Crusader would be one of the faster ones on this board now, for sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
Besides getting through maybe the initial cave. CBD getting
Right.
Lanciax, though, now 7 to 10,
Nice.
or 10 to 7 here. Going for Altus bosses. But it is still 2 to 5 right now, Altus bosses, if not 3 to 5. So if CBD can actually make up the difference with his upgraded weapons, since he does have more damage than Kata, that could definitely be an option here. But it depends on his boss choices.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks like that Pup is also trying to contest the Caled bosses, as she's currently on
Yes.
Falling Star Beast as well. So this might be another snipe from Aggie, but it looks like that Pup is in the lead by 1 Caled boss.
Yes, it depends on how RNG is, how damage is, who their choices are. We'll see. Man, this Falling Star Beast fight, Aggie is good at it, but like doing Falling Star Beast with any sort of claw or dagger or something, man, that fight sucks with the claw or dagger.
Yeah.
He did have raw and it was good, but like that is a tough fight to get good damage on if you're using one of those weapons.
Anything short range is not so great on that fight for sure.
Yeah, and something that relies on bleed, of course.
Okay, looks like Aggie's going to go for upgrades here real quick. I really want to see someone do Nox Duo. Nox Duo is a really quick fight. I haven't seen really a lot of people pick that for a Caled boss, but it's right next to Falling Star Beast, and you can activate it pretty quickly as well through the brazier that's around, or brazier, however you call it.
Yeah, I think that that's one of those things like Misbegotten Crusader where I'm just like I don't really think people like that square that much, and I don't really understand why, or not that square but that boss. I don't really get why a lot, but they just don't.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen Aggie fight them once and then give up on them, and that's all I've seen from Nox Duo in this whole season.
They're not too bad if you have, you know, at least some damage, and you are able to separate them if you throw like a consumable in between the two. They normally dash different directions, so then you can like separate them a little bit more. Looks like that Aggie might be going for sorceries here now.
Yep. Not a bad call. It's a little scary. He doesn't know how ahead or behind he is. But yeah, it's definitely a square you can rely on getting. If no one's contesting it.
Yeah.
not a lot of RNG involved in that one, and he's got a lot of money, so.
And there is still a chance to come back here for sure.
Yeah, there's totally a chance. Depending on a lot of stuff, Aggie is not super behind on Caleb bosses. Pup has that really thick health bar though, so she can do a lot of stuff. She can kind of do whatever she wants here.
Yeah.
But this night, I mean, it kind of, like, she's ahead, but, you know, RNG can matter, and, again, boss choice can matter.
I don't believe her damage output is as high as Aggie's now, either.
Yeah.
Also, this
But
horse...
she is ahead, so...
Yeah, she is ahead. This horse, however, can really be a huge time sink.
Oh my god, so bad, dude. This guy can just run around forever. Okay, so Aggie's on the same boss, but yeah, the bleed on him would be really nice. But again, the RNG is gonna matter a little bit, and... Alright, we got... Okay, CBD's going Misbegone Crusader here. Okay, let's see how this goes.
Definitely not a bad
wonder-
call.
I've not seen any of them practice Crusader. And no one likes him. No one likes Misbegone Crusader. It's a little bit of an annoying fight, but yeah, I don't really see why all the hate.
So it is only I would say a hateful fight if you don't have a decent poised weapon. So like if
Yeah.
Aggie would do it, it'd be honestly terrible. In this
yeah.
case, for CBD having a colossal
Woo.
weapon, it'll be really, really nice. Because he can just like
Yeah.
R1 stagger him over and over again. 7-11.
Yeah, that was a really fast night cav fight there. Now, so depending on what Aggie chooses to go for bosses, he could catch up because that was a really fast night cav. And depending, of course, what Pup chooses, she does need only one more.
It is currently 12-7 now. Yeah, and they have 8 squares to pick from.
Kinda got that cracked pot square. They are going, like, I don't know. It's a little bit of a scary one here. I think that the way for Monkey Ballers to catch up here would be for Aggie to get the square from Pup. Which I don't know that he will. I'm not exactly sure what bosses he looks like he's gonna contest here. And oh, they're going for the same one. What boss is in here?
Pumpkinhead Duo.
Okay.
I'm really confused by Catalyst here, though. He's going for Estelle, it looks like. As a remembrance, I guess. As one of his remembrances.
Oh,
But it's a bit of a
got that
travel
yank.
time.
Yeah, weird choice to go for Estelle. I wonder why. Does Estelle give you progress into anything?
Yeah, remembrances, yeah.
Well, other than that.
Nope.
No.
Well, level 60, I guess, but he doesn't give you that much
Yeah.
money either. But then we see those R1s, though, putting in work for CBD, where you can just keep R1ing and it keeps, like, micro-staggering
Yeah.
the
yeah.
Misbegotten. Helps a lot.
Yeah, he's not having much issues with this guy. He's just a little different, this Misbegotten, than others, just because of that sword. That sword has that one extra swing on that spin, holy attack, whatever it is, that always kind of throws me off. Right here.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you know the fight, which CBD obviously does, it's not too big of a problem.
There it is, 12-8 now. They could slowly catch up, but Aggie has to do Caled bosses. But Pup is already on her
Yeah.
last Caled boss here, being the Pumpkinhead Duo. If she doesn't die, this will be GG's for Team Cattery. And there it is.
And there it is.
Boom, 13-8. GG's to Team Cattery, moving into the finals.
GG's. GG's. Good work. That was really well played for Cattery. They were both out for blood. They were both so fast. Very few mistakes. Pup looks so happy. I know Pup gets a little stressed out with pressure sometimes the same way I do. And she really performed these games. Super good for her.
Yeah.
And of course, Kata was super fast like he always is. Just awesome, awesome teamwork. Really good skill levels.
I think I think that's honestly for a lot of people though. Like I'd be just as stressed.
Totally,
You know, going into
dude.
these matches, especially semifinals, try and make sure that you perform the best. Don't make any huge mistakes. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a few of those snipes that got Aggie and CBD, I think, is what really affected them. I mean, they've been practicing, and everyone's been practicing so much. Everyone's been trying new things, learning new strats. A few unfortunate snipes just kind of got them off their game, it seems like. And it is what it is, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. I'm gonna let them just talk a little bit more, but we'll go ahead and move into post game here. I think the whole play from Cattery where they went for column 1 and then Pup was able to just grab all of the free squares pretty much because the pressure wasn't really on her this match. This was really, really nice. That means you can just go for all the squares that you want and not really feel like you're being contested because there's other pressures for the enemy team to really focus on. So you can just pick all of the nice stuff for your team and gain points like the Blythe square, the cemetery shades, the 6 Kaled bosses, all being picked up by Pup really, really helped. Cattery really taking the dub today, which is nice.
Totally. That's a really great strat. We've seen that from a lot of teams where one person kind of focuses on that big, crazy, scary stuff, and then another team does the behind-the-scenes stuff and does the stuff that no one's possibly going to contest, which is a good strat.
Yeah. It's a hard thing. It's a strategy that you aren't able to pull off every match.
Yeah.
But it is definitely, when you're able to do it, it's very, very powerful. I definitely agree. Let's go ahead. They do seem to be ready. I'm going to bring in all the players here, and then we'll go ahead and have a little chit-chat.
Okay.
All right, welcome in, guys. Welcome in. GG's to Cattery for winning the semifinals and moving on into the finals, so GG's to you for that. And GG's to Team Monkey Brawlers for playing today as well. For the 2 matches, there was a lot happening. First from Team Cattery, if you'd like to kind of give us like a rundown game plan and also so game plan match 1, game plan match 2, and kind of what you maybe used from game 1 into match 2. Anything in that regard?
I mean, I think both boards had plenty of early game squares to go for. So we knew that we absolutely had to challenge some of them, and we were kind of happy to see it in a way because we know that, our opponents today prefer being able to set up and then go on a killing spree. So the first game definitely wasn't that. And basically once I got the Scarsies, which I was kind of surprised, because the Dragonkin in game 1 took quite a bit of extra time, so I didn't expect to be able to do that. But once I got the Scar Seals, we were like, okay, well, if I get the Black Knife Assassins, then row 2 will come online really quick, and we can probably bulldoze it. So that was sort of what happened in game 1.
Mm-hmm.
And game 2, we liked the idea of the Margit into Hitless, and obviously with tunnels, that could be a really strong combo. I was very concerned, though, about a potential just Radan Rush, because there was a claw-wielding class at the start. So that was maybe a little bit of a problem. But in the end, we ended up getting the 4 squares on column 1, and it was basically not one of those bingos that you bluff, because even if you end up losing the Rykard's Great Rune, you still get a Remembrance. For the 4 Remembrances square, you're working towards rune level 60 and stuff. So that kind of is what developed throughout game 2, I think.
Gotcha. And for Team Monkey Ballers, what was the plan from game 1? What was the plan from game 2? And kind of the approach for the boards. As we saw, actually, on both teams' ends, everyone went for different squares besides Pup and Aggie going for the Smithing Stone Bell Bearings in game 1. So, what was the communication there and everything?
Yeah, so game 1, obviously, there were a ton of early game options. We decided to prioritize the ones that had a 2-square synergy, and then in the case of bell bearings and tunnels, you also get a weapon out of it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Pup was just faster than me, so yeah, she got those squares, which is unfortunate. I felt like I had to commit to the tunnel even after losing the bell bearing, just because it tied into Rykard's Great Rune, and we needed that for a potential block for the diagonal.
Dude, Pup is speed hacking, all right? I'm calling her out.
Yeah.
All right? I'm calling her out, okay?
It's kind of the MVP because
check
thing happened.
the PC.
Similar thing happened game 2 where she just beat CBD to tunnels again.
Bro,
And
she kicked my ass.
just
She didn't just beat me, all right? She kicked my ass to that square.
Well, you guys don't want to know how often I've practiced like exactly that square. I've probably sat here like 3 hours just in a row, just practicing that. So
There
I'm
was
glad it paid
a
off.
there was a routing difference between Aggie and Pup though when it comes to the tunnels, and I think
Yeah,
that
I was
was
curious
the.
why she did it so much faster. What happened?
So she actually goes through the ruined labyrinth grace in Liurnia to the smithing
Okay.
stone tunnel rather than from the EG, the bridge skip down to the past the EG teleporter. So she got there, I believe, like 10, if not 15 seconds faster to that first tunnel, and then that pretty much set the tone. And then she didn't go for the. No, she did. Sorry, she did go for the bell bang, and then went straight out to the old Altus tunnel right afterwards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For a second tunnel. So I believe that that routing change made a difference for sure on that square, that specific square.
That makes sense. Yeah, we went the other way because there were 3 Raya Lucaria squares, so I figured that that's worth the setup. But honestly, I'm not familiar with the other way down too well, so yeah, I didn't think that'd make that big a difference. But yeah, it was about 10 seconds faster.
Yeah, no, that's super fair. Going into game 2, there were some interesting choices as well, which I thought were good choices too, which was the letting them do market parries while you guys go and contest other squares. And then that column 1 was building up a little bit quicker than maybe you guys were anticipating. I'm not too sure. Did you guys ever consider doing duelists at some point? Or was it too late when the column 1 was kind of being built on?
Yeah, so obviously it was either duelist or hitless, and CBD chose to go for hitless, which yeah, Kata just didn't bluff that, which I think is the correct choice in this situation, just because yeah, obviously Pup's just going to be working on duelists, and he's already got the advantage there. I did go for the right card block, but I had an unfortunate pillar meme and died to the roll, and after that I just figured there's no way that I'm going to get the square before him, so we're just going to have to build our own line to match it.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was a good call though. Like your damage on Noble and your Noble fight was really good, and I think you were ahead of Kata, but it was a good call that you noticed that stupid pillar thing that happened with that roll. It was just unfortunate, but it was a good call to get off that.
Yeah. We needed to get Blythe instead of Borealis, and then I think we could have probably ended up with column 5 because I did have the crackpot start.
Yeah,
And,
that was
that
one thing I was kind of curious on, because you were holding on to those crackpots for quite a while. Did it ever, like, during the match at all be like, okay, maybe I should just go for the crackpots now? Can I cash that in, or was it there was just too many other pressures to like worry about to like have reconsider the crackpots?
There is just too much other stuff going on, and I kind of made the assumption that given how long it'd been on the board that no one else started crackpots, so I have advantage on it, whatever.
Yeah.
And that it didn't seem like something that they would go for quickly. Which, by the way, how did you get crackpot like 2 seconds after Altus boss? So I assume the hero's grave, but is the pot really like right there?
I had a weeping grace, so I literally just finished the square and then went there and bought the last crackpot. I already had 9.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, from Team Cattery here, match 2. Not bluffing the Restore Records Great Ruin. Like, was that the intent from the very beginning, or was that because you saw column 4 and saw that 4 different remembrances was also on column 4 and saw the Raya's Hand of Volcano Manor, so maybe it was a bit more of a race on your end? What was the thought of there too?
Yeah, pretty much that. I mean, we just felt like Kata was ahead enough, and especially also since they did mark like in between some other things. That he could be ahead, but also it felt important enough of a square that it would be raised. And yeah, with the full remembrances, it's just, yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of clear to us that we could get it, and that it's not good to bluff because they might try to go for it for the block, right?
Mm-hmm. Anything from you, Parky? Any questions from game 1 or game 2?
I don't really think so. I think that, yeah, there were some unfortunate snipes, and it is what it is, but Cattery, you guys played really well. Team Monkey Ballers, you guys played well too. I mean, everyone is like so awesome and so fast, and it's always insane to watch. So thank you guys for gracing my eyes with your awesome skills.
Thank you for the kind words.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to say, Pup, I know you've been practicing like insanely, and I know that you sometimes have pressure during games, I know that because I used to have that too. But girl, you went so crazy today, and I really hope you're proud of yourself, and like I mean everyone did, of course, but you know, I resonate a little more with Pup because I was also really pressured during my games, and you went so off. So
Thank you.
So
I mean, it
great
definitely
playing.
helps having a great, like a team partner during the season. I do have to say, like, I do like this format a lot because, I mean, Kata definitely knows how nervous I get, and he does a good job calming me down. And then I just know, like,
yeah, totally.
that we can do it, and it, yeah, gives me a lot of strength, and it's been good improvement. So thank you.
Yeah, very good games from both teams. Cattery moving into the finals tomorrow versus Brino Moschino. Any thoughts that going into that? Anything that specifically that you might be practicing for tomorrow now for the finals against Brino Moschino?
They're a very strong team, both at contesting the early game squares and at going for all the late game fights as well. So I think it's going to come down mostly to being able to read the board and making the right choices, because I think execution-wise, both teams will be will try to be on their A game, and I think we're both going to do well. So I think board reading will be very important.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Overall, I mean, making the right choices is very hard, especially in the 2v2 format, just because you have to consider both players doing something at the same time. So it's a lot harder to make the right calls. But it would be very, very fun to watch you guys play tomorrow. I think you guys will do a great job tomorrow. And for Team Monkey Ballers here, it is your last match day for season 3. Any closing words from you guys? What are you guys working on in the future? And the floor is yours. Whatever you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with our run this season. I would say we did better than probably both initially expected to. We really got into a good flow of it with the league matches. Unfortunately, yeah, we're also kind of probably the most inconsistent league or team in the league. And yeah, today wasn't our day. But yeah, I'm still happy with how we did. And yeah, obviously all the teams in the league are super, super talented. So it'll be a great finals. And yeah, I think for CBD in the future, probably just getting ready for Amit League.
True.
Yeah, you know what? I could not have asked for a better partner. Aggie's great. I think we did amazing. Domo, thank you again. I don't think anyone else can pull off an event like this like you can. So I hope people who are watching this, who are rooting for teams, root for Domo too. He's an amazing guy. All right, and yeah, I did better. We did better than everyone thought we were gonna do. All right, so fuck him. All right.
I appreciate the kind
You
words.
guys have been putting in the work. Like, we were actually talking about this, Kat and I, before the match, that we respect that a lot, how many practice matches you guys played. So good on you guys for that.
Yeah. I appreciate the kinds words, CBD, and yeah, no, it was a pleasure seeing all of you practice, but especially just Monkey Ballers, because I probably practiced with you guys, I would say the most out of all the teams, just because of time scheduling, and seeing you guys like learn different things and changing communication styles and everything. I thought it was really, really interesting to watch. So it was really a pleasure to watch you guys play. And get third place, which is third place is third place, man. I think that's still great. And I think you guys did a great job. And yeah, both Aggie and CBD being in Zero Hit League going to be interesting too. I'll see you guys there.
Yeah.
I'd just like to echo the other match games, Eggy and CBD. I mean, I'm maybe a little biased, but I think your match games were so awesome to watch. You guys actually kicked ass all season. And like, I totally think you guys should be proud of yourselves too. It was awesome. Good for both of you. And the practicing was awesome. Everyone is so sick. Everyone is like so fucking crazy. And I think everyone who participated in this league, whatever place you got, it's just like everyone is so crazy. So I hope you guys are all proud of yourselves and no one is too hard on themselves.
Well, thank you.
I agree. And with that being said, thank you very much, guys. I'll see Cattery tomorrow. Best of luck to you guys tomorrow on the finals. Parky and I will be here to commentate that. So hopefully you guys get some nice rest, relax a little bit, trying to, prep for tomorrow. And again, thanks, Monkey Balls, for playing today, guys. GG's on getting 3rd place. And hopefully we get to see you guys in a future season as well. And thanks so much for playing. I really do appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jamo.
Yeah.
Good luck, Cattery.
Thank you.
GG's, guys.
GG.
GG's. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.